What is up, guys? Lincoln here. Thank you for joining me for another episode of Dread Captures. We have an awesome video for you this week. As always, please like, subscribe, share with a friend, and I'll see you in the comments.
In a bustling city in the Philippines, a motorcyclist's routine ride takes an unsettling turn. The road he's traveling is infamous for its deadly past. This place is chock full of numerous traffic fatalities, mostly due to bad signage, bad lighting, bad drivers, you name it. But what happens next is pretty extraordinary. As the man's riding his motorcycle, suddenly a figure seems to leap directly into the path of him. You can see he swerves a little bit. Instinctively, the rider glances back, but the road is clear. There's no sign of anyone. The oddity deepens with the rider's claim that the figure had no discernible face. When he looked where the face should be, it was just an obscure, dark shape. Locals suggest he might have encountered a ghost or a restless spirit from one of the road's tragic events. But let's just say the supernatural isn't at play. What the heck was that? It looked pretty real to me. I don't know, I'm leaning towards a ghost, but share your theories. Hitting the woods for a camping trip with friends can be a top-notch way to just hang out and get in touch with Mother Nature. Well, at least until night falls and an unexpected occurrence sends you into freak-out mode. That's what we see here with a bunch of these teenagers that are camping out in the Michigan forest. Most likely these guys are just looking for a good time, happy to be away from their parents and just hanging with themselves. But things get real creepy real fast. The guys start hearing these growling noises not far off, right outside their tents. And when one of them flicks on their flashlights, they spot these skinwalkers lurking around like they're in some sort of horror flick. You can tell the moment the pure panic hits for these guys, and they book it out of there. Come to find out, they left everything, their tents, their cooking gear, they left all their gear behind. So let's put some level-headedness on this. What do we think is going on here? Could their imaginations be running wild? Or do we really think they're being hunted by skinwalkers? Either way, if their reactions are genuine, you can tell that the woods left a mark on them for sure. In a bold act, we can see this jaguar has rushed onto this local road. And instead of attacking, you can see that she's vying for their attention, trying to get them to pay attention to her. Scared and unsure what's going on, one man pushed the jaguar to the side. Really just couldn't believe what he was seeing. But the jaguar didn't give up. There was a forest ranger in the group, and he noticed that something was wrong. The jaguar gravitated towards him, almost like he knew, okay, you're going to be the one that's going to help me, you'll understand. The jaguar pulled on him, and eventually the man followed. As the jaguar ran down the road and the men followed for about 10 minutes, they eventually got to a well where the jaguar's cub had fallen in. The park ranger quickly called a rescue organization, and they came to the site. The cub was struggling and wasn't going to last much longer. They put their heads together and decided to lower a trap cage, which hopefully the cub would enter itself and be able to be pulled up. The mother jaguar anxiously watched from a tree as her cub, realizing the cage was her only hope, eventually got in and the rescuers pulled her up. But they weren't done there. They needed to safely put her back into the wild. And once they did, you could see the gratitude on the mother's face. Just an unbelievable story.
Okay, so back a few videos ago, I mentioned seeing videos online about people having their Ring cameras hijacked and how they can basically see inside your home. They get your password, hack in, and they can see what you're doing. And they target kids. It's super creepy. So I'll set the stage for you. This takes place in the family home of the Crystalics. Basically, they have their camera perched atop the counter, just in their living room. While their youngest daughter is watching TV, you can hear the voice come over.
Suddenly, an unexpected voice pipes through the camera speaker, talking to the little girl.
What you watching? I've seen that show before. What season, y'all? Hello?
The daughter doesn't seem to notice, or perhaps opts to ignore the voice. But here's Adam, the dad, who's unaware that he's under observation at this moment. As the voice continues and Adam, mistaking it for the TV at first, turns to look, it doesn't take long for him to realize that that sound isn't coming from the TV. And he's pissed. The realization hitting him, their Ring camera system may have been compromised. Someone is watching them through their Ring camera system.
Hello? What are you eating? You hungry? What? Room towering up. Hello. This is Ring.
You can hear as the guy tries to do his best robotic impression, but Adam's like, nah. He knows his security's been breached. He quickly shuts down the camera and contacts Ring. The Ring representative reached back out and said that an unknown phone had accessed his account. Despite their efforts, they were never able to track it either, and the source remains a mystery. Adam and his family are left with an ultimate sense of intrusion and vulnerability. They gave him basic advice: change your password and enable two-factor authentication. The family still struggles with a lingering sense of unease, as you could imagine. So as you can see, there's a guy shooting a clip of his sister's car that he's putting up for sale. As I mentioned before, this isn't any car. It belonged to his sister, who sadly died in it less than a year ago. After he sends the video off to someone interested in buying, he gets a jarring reply that tells him to take a closer look. Check this out.
Hey man, here's my sister's car. Just wanted to make this video so you can have a look at it. She still runs good. She's a little dirty. She has a lot of miles on her, but it can clean up nice. Here's the front and a little back. Here's some of the back. But I don't know if you're interested, just let me know what you think.
As the video plays, there's a subtle sound of a woman sobbing in the background. Now, I didn't really hear that at first, but as the video plays, there's a subtle sound of a woman sobbing in the background if you listen closely. The clip got picked up by a channel called Dark Adventures Online and exploded. It racked up 500,000 views in like a day or something. In the comments, loads of viewers are saying that the weeping woman could be the man's sister's spirit, that she's likely stuck in the car where her life ended, unable to find peace and move on. Tons of people are obviously saying, don't buy it, what are you doing, are you crazy? And then others want to know why the heck the guy's selling it. I don't know how she died, but did you hear when he said, if you clean it up a little bit? Like, what does that mean? Hopefully it means, vacuum the seats and wipe down the windows, but I have a feeling he doesn't. In this brief video shared on Twitter, we see a pilot sitting in the cockpit of his aircraft. Suddenly, a flash of light strikes his helmet, accompanied by a discernible thud. The pilot, obviously taken aback by this unexpected occurrence, jerks his head in reaction, and we can see as he instinctively touches his helmet. This post has sparked the curiosity of many viewers. People who have watched the video have come up with a myriad of speculations about the source of this flash. Most are wondering if it was some type of natural event like a lightning strike or even a meteor. A few viewers have said it could be a bullet that hit the pilot. Of course, there are even wilder guesses, although who's to say they're wild or not. The possibility of a planned alien invasion? A beam from an alien's gun? I don't know. But nevertheless, that still leaves the question, where did this blinding light originate from? And what could have possibly caused it? Do we think we're dealing with something supernatural? Maybe even paranormal? Is this a natural occurrence? The internet is buzzing with theories. Let me know yours. Oh, tourists. Yep, we can see here as they're filming this huge Cape buffalo chowing down on some grass, totally at peace. But then, the noise of the spectators gets the big guy's attention. And, uh-oh, things take a sharp left turn. The buffalo stops by the water's edge. You can tell his demeanor's changed. The tourists are just gawking at him, totally wowed at first. But the mood flips real quick when Mr. Buffalo decides he's not up for a photo shoot, and he starts to charge.
He would stop by the edge of the water.
Oh God, with that grass.
Look at him.
He's good.
Oh gosh, oh no. Look how fast he's going. Oh no! Scare me to death.
You can hear Sally over here. She's hollering for help as everyone's hearts are thumping like crazy. But here's the thing. The Cape Buffalo's got a rep for being unpredictable. And an angry one is like a ticking time bomb. Super dangerous. Anyhow, these folks nearly learned that lesson the hard way. But luckily for them, it was all show. Just a mock charge. The Buffalo's version of telling them to back off, buddy, without anyone getting hurt. So Kyle Harrison, a YouTuber, was just hanging out playing with his little one in the living room when out of nowhere, one of their toys starts freaking out.
I'm gonna have nightmares from this.
It's making these really spooky noises, sounding like someone's talking backwards. And Kyle even says, like, man, this is gonna give me nightmares. What's up with this thing? While some folks are thinking that they're hearing some type of chant with the words flipped around, others are catching what seems like words among the gibberish. Stuff like, it's near, or it's here, I'm near. It's really hard to tell. The slower you play the video, the better you can hear it.
I'm gonna have nightmares from this.
But what do you guys think? You guys hear the same thing, or is this just some random glitch? I mean, it's kind of fishy, right? Probably the crazy part is that one commenter that saw this video chimed in and said they have the same toy and it's never gone off the rails like this. Not even when the batteries are on the brink, which Kyle had suggested before might have been the case. Anyhow, what do we think? Is this kid's toy possessed, or does it just need some new Duracells? A crew of urban explorers from the YouTube channel Herex Castron Nautica swung by this old-timey La Plata cemetery in Buenos Aires, Argentina. This cemetery's been around since at least 1886 and has a bunch of famous folks laid to rest there. So as they're meandering through the massive place, checking out the 12,000 tombs and vaults that are there, they spot a crypt that looks like it's been broken into, or damaged, or at the very least, it's been messed with. And I'll say that their camera picks up something pretty creepy. Did you see it? Yep, me neither at first. But I'll tell you who didn't miss it. The eagle-eyed viewers when they put this video up on YouTube. You can see as they spot a creepy, pale little hand ducking back into an open coffin. It's super hard to see, it just blinks by. You have to crank up the brightness and pretty much go frame by frame. If you flip the video to negative, the ghostly hand stands out even more. Some viewers thought one of the guys was pulling a fast one from inside the coffin. But no. This crypt is really old and not exactly sturdy. It's not like they could really go inside, climb in there. It's way too risky. So the urban explorers really want to know, did they just score some actual ghost footage? Or is this just something that looks like a hand creeping back into this coffin?
Okay, this next clip is crazy. It's from a Leandro. He's in Buenos Aires, Argentina. And all of these strange occurrences are happening in this new place that he just moved into. Check this out.
To get to the bottom of this, Leandro set up a security cam hoping to catch a glimpse of what was going on. What he didn't expect to capture was something that went way beyond a simple case of missing belongings. The footage shook him up big time. It got Leandro digging into the backstory of his property, where he ultimately learned about a devastating fire back in the 50s that claimed the lives of a family where his house now stands. Fast forward to another night, his buddy Daniel has come over. They're just hanging out when this force or spirit or entity makes another startling appearance. If you look behind Leandro, you can see a white shape glide past the window, and almost simultaneously, as if by an unseen hand, objects fly off the nightstand, basically explode. Both men almost jump out of their seats and wet their pants. I mean, that's pretty crazy. I guess that could be fake, I don't know. But after that night, Leandro notices something even more bizarre. When the presence visits his home, it seems to be copying Daniel's voice.
Son las 3 de la mañana de nuevo y esto es lo que yo, con lo que yo convivo desde hace meses. Con esto yo convivo hace meses. Siempre que grabo, vos no sos Daniel, vos no sos Daniel, esa no es tu voz. Vos no sos Daniel, esa no es tu voz. Daniel se fue hace meses del país, vos no sos Daniel. Si querés lastimarme, salí y lastimame ahora. Ya. Déjame de joder. Déjame de joder. Si no puedo vivir. Ya no puedo vivir así.
We've shown some of these videos before. This is known as a mimic. They mimic a familiar voice to lure you in. Regardless of whether this is all a hoax or half of it is a prank, Leandro says he's at his wit's end with all these eerie happenings. But what do you guys think? Is his house genuinely haunted? Or do we think that he, and maybe even Daniel, are pulling off an intricate prank? You know, personally, part of me, I really thought it was all real until the end when they had the supposed voice trying to break into his room. But I digress. Only Leandro can tell us for sure, but we can talk about it in the comments. In the chill of a winter night back in 1993, Kelly Cahill, accompanied by her husband Andrew, encountered a mystery that continues to baffle them to this day. While traveling Belgrave Hallam Road in Australia, Kelly's eyes locked onto a curious sight. A vast array of orange lights forming a perfect circle. They were glowing in a nearby field, an otherworldly vision against the night sky. The couple took note of it and headed to their destination. Their journey home later only deepened the mystery as they confronted the same glowing phenomenon. But now it had moved from the field and was suspended over the exact road they were driving on. As they approached it, in a flash it sped away, only to re-emerge behind them moments later. After this, they felt lightheaded. Their memory abruptly ceased, leaving a blank stretch in their timeline like a cutscene from a movie. When they got their wits about them, they found themselves further along the road, with no recollection of traveling. Following the incident, Kelly observed unexplained triangular marks on her body and suffered from abdominal discomfort. However, more alarming were the nocturnal visitations by towering dark figures topped with sinister glowing red eyes. They showed up almost every single night. Kelly was losing her mind. In pursuit of understanding, Kelly turned to hypnotherapy. The hidden memories vividly unveiled themselves. They had stopped the car for a clearer view when a spindly figure materialized, emanating a malevolent intent heard as a thought in Kelly's mind. Then an unseen force struck her down. Amidst her terror, Kelly perceived these beings as soulless entities intent on harm. The peculiar nature of Kelly's experience piqued the interest of Phenomena Research Australia under John O'Chettle. His team, after thorough interviews and site investigations, sought corroborative witnesses through newspaper ads. Astonishingly, they secured testimony from others who claimed not just sightings, but abductions and examinations aboard the aircraft. Their narratives eerily mirrored Kelly's. A comprehensive report of 300 pages was assembled, teeming with these testimonies, yet it remains withheld from the public purview. And with along that have come a growing crop of questions rather than answers. Now, regarding what Kelly and others might have witnessed, the descriptions echo common elements of extraterrestrial encounters reported globally. The appearance of the lights, the lost time, and subsequent recollections under hypnosis are strikingly similar to other alleged UFO sightings and abduction claims. Without additional evidence, however, such extraordinary claims rest in the realm of speculation and anecdote. They entice the imagination and speak to our innate curiosity about what mysteries lie beyond our earthly experiences. Whether otherworldly visitors, secret human technology, or psychological phenomena, the truth of that night is as elusive as it is fascinating. The well-to-hell story is one heck of an urban myth that's been sparking up conversations for ages. So, way back in 1989, it blasted into the English-speaking scene through Trinity Broadcasting Network, an American TV channel, but with a religious angle. So, here's the deal. Some Soviet engineers, with a man named Azakov calling the shots, were drilling down in Siberia. They got pretty far down into the earth, about 9 miles deep, and suddenly they bump into this massive hole. Curiosity getting the best of them, they lowered a microphone that could handle extreme heat, along with some other gadgets to help see more clearly. What they hear is mind-blowing.
I warn you, what you are about to hear is very disturbing indeed.
It's about 1,000 degrees down there, and it sounds like a crowd of suffering souls. It gets even weirder. The first group of miners straight up lost their minds. They started fighting with each other, arguing, physical fighting. Then they're gone. They just disappear. The second team shows up, and the place is just a mess. They have no direction, and Azakov has basically lost his mind too. This tale got its start in a Finnish paper, then American tabloids grabbed it and ran. Trinity Broadcasting Network came into the picture because, of course, they were saying that it proved hell is real. But not everyone was buying it. A Norwegian teacher wasn't having any of it, and she told the network they were full of it. Back in Norway, the teacher hears of an even wilder part of the story. A giant bat-like creature zoomed out of the hole, and the religious network picked it up saying that it was Satan. The legends morphed and grown, with different takes popping up everywhere. By 1992, Weekly World News had a version with Satan jumping out of an Alaskan well, taking out and killing 13 miners, and killing the bat. So, what's the deal, you might ask? Your guess is as good as mine. Could this be a case of mass hysteria, where fear and imagination got the best of folks? Or maybe, just maybe, is there a bit of truth wrapped up in a lot of fiction? Anyhow, let me know if any of you guys have heard of this or have any particular details.
This is a follow-up to a video posted a few weeks ago. Take a listen.
1, 2, 3, 4. I don't see the thumb. There is a print right here that shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you what this thing did.
You can pick it up barely right now.
That's a left-hand print.
That's the kitchen. So the interesting part about these windows, these were the only 2 windows in the entire home that you could see through the curtain. We changed those. She changed those curtains yesterday.
This thing was peeking in to see what y'all were doing.
That's the only window he could see.
It was peeking in to see what you were doing.
In this account, the man in the blue shirt who lives in the house we just viewed shared an unusual tale. His regular home life was reportedly disrupted by a huge furry creature that seemed to be peering into their residence. A professional cryptid hunter visited the house to conduct what can best be described as neighborhood detective work. His verdict? A Bigfoot had indeed paid them a visit. He pointed out handprints on the window, which aren't visible to us. But consider for a moment how it would feel to be in your home, only to spot a massive ape-like creature peering into your space. It's hard to grasp the magnitude of such an experience. The speculation within the comment section of the video was mixed. Some viewers suggested the Bigfoot was simply curious, while others suspected it was attracted by the smell of food from the kitchen. A few viewers, though, took a more sinister view, suggesting the creature was there to strategize an attack. However, this behavior seems atypical for Bigfoot, at least based on popular lore. So, what's your take on this account? Do you think these men were telling the truth? Or were they merely attempting to grab the limelight? We're eager to hear your insights on this. Up next is an intriguing Trailcam image featuring a deer, but there's something that sets this one apart. Examine the deer closely in the picture. Do you notice the claw marks? They hint at an encounter with a significantly large and threatening creature, but the culprit remains a mystery. Interestingly, a commenter shed some light on the situation. They explain that this is not as uncommon as you might think during mating season. It's possible that a buck's antlers might scrape a doe in the heat of the moment, leading to such markings. Even the individual who shared this image online can only guess. They suspect that a cougar or a bear might be responsible. However, it's rare for such predators to let go of their prey once they've managed to capture it, unless the deer managed a miraculous escape. So, what's your take on this peculiar situation? Does the commenter's theory hold water, or do you have a different perspective? In February 2020, a routine flight is underway as an Airbus 320 majestically glides above the country of Colombia. The captain, blissfully unaware, is on the verge of making a startling discovery. Unbeknownst to him, the seemingly serene sky isn't as solitary as he assumes.
The pilot does us the favor of showing his altimeter, and we can see that he's flying around 30,000 feet in altitude.
The pilot then positions his smartphone camera towards the cockpit window, capturing a perplexing sight as he zooms in. A peculiar object, metallic in appearance, resembling a polyhedron, whizzes past in a direct trajectory. When we slow down the footage and enhance the zoom, the object becomes even more evident. Upon closer examination, it somewhat resembles a cube.
It has these kind of little points that stick out. It does seem to be darker in color and not like a bright, shining balloon. Whatever this is, it definitely shouldn't be there.
One theory is that if we were visited by another civilization, they might send probes ahead of when they actually come.
This drone recording originates from the depths of Salt Fork Park in Ohio. The video starts off as expected, but around the 5th minute, you might spot something concealed within the dense undergrowth. Keep your eyes focused on the left portion of your screen as the drone begins to descend, keeping your eyes peeled as the event unfolds swiftly. Many viewers say they can see a large creature pause and look upwards as the drone flies past. Some even speculate this to be a daytime sighting of Bigfoot. I can definitely see what they are referring to, but I personally can't make out any movement, and I think it could be something as simple as a tree. Please share your views and theories. Tell me if you spot it down in the comments. Next up, we're looking at video evidence that surfaced following an unusual disturbance in a local community. The neighbors in this area were left frightened and troubled due to the ongoing screams of an unidentified man. Anyone who's heard a human scream knows how disturbing it can be, so it's hardly surprising that hours of these mysterious cries led them to call for the sheriff. The video we're examining now is reportedly from the sheriff's body cam. Oddly enough, as soon as the sheriff arrived at the location, an eerie silence fell over the place. Being a law enforcement officer, he naturally started to scan the surroundings for anything unusual. As he navigated down the road, flashlight in hand, nothing seemed amiss at first. That was until he spotted a chillingly pale figure with arms of unnatural length. Whatever this entity was, it was originally seated, but the moment the beam from the sheriff's flashlight hit it, it took off and disappeared from view. Thankfully, the entire incident was caught on the sheriff's body cam. After watching the video, it was clear that the creature was humanoid, but unlikely human based on its skin and behavior. Some paranormal enthusiasts have suggested it could be a cryptid known as the Wraith. Considering the evidence in the video, it's hard to fault them for this belief. But is the video genuinely authentic? I'm not entirely convinced. What's your take on it? Let us dive into the realm of the unexplained with this intriguing Trailcam image. Can you spot the creature in the shot? It seems to bear some resemblance to an ape, don't you think? However, upon closer inspection, you'll notice that its body proportions don't quite align with any known ape species. Moreover, its face appears to hold an anomaly. Despite the image's low resolution, the person who shared it online is convinced that the creature is cradling a baby close to its face. Interestingly, I agree with this observation. You can make out the baby with its back towards us, though several commenters have expressed difficulty in spotting the baby. Definitely let me know whether you can see it. Yet, the real intriguing element here isn't the potential offspring. This image was captured in Florida, and the person who shared it believes it could be the elusive skunk ape. For those not in the know, the skunk ape is thought of as the swamp-dwelling cousin of Bigfoot. So what's your take? Could we be looking at a genuine skunk ape, or is this merely an overblown interpretation? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Check out this rarely seen footage from 1994. The video showcases a man in the woods, seemingly accompanied by a Bigfoot. The location? Near Duck Spring, situated within the Blue Mountain Range in Oregon. From the man's labored breathing, you can sense his anxiety and possibly fear. His trembling hands make it difficult to tell what's spooking him, but as the video progresses, the cause becomes evident. A large figure is seen just meters away from him, with a human-like stride yet an ape-like body. Its extraordinarily long arms and weighty steps suggest it might be capable of inflicting harm, explaining the man's audible fear. Surprisingly though, the creature doesn't seem interested in the man. The man, he's convinced he's encountered a Bigfoot, and honestly, it's hard to argue with him. After all, how do we explain what we're watching in this video? Keep in mind that this is from 1994, a time when CGI and special effects weren't as common as they are now. Unless it's an incredibly convincing person in a costume, which seems improbable, what other explanation could there be? I'm interested in hearing your thoughts on this. The Defense Department released 3 unidentified flying object videos, recorded by Navy pilots in 2004 and 2015, sparking speculation about extraterrestrial life. While confirming the video's authenticity, the Pentagon hasn't provided a concrete explanation, leaving possibilities such as atmospheric effects or technical issues open. Despite the excitement generated among UFO enthusiasts, some experts advocate caution, noting that such sightings typically have terrestrial explanations. I'm going to let the video play from here.
The whole fleet of them, look on the ASA. My gosh. They're all going against the wind. The wind's 120 knots from the west. Oh, dude. That's not our LNS though, is it? It's not. That is LNS, dude. Well, if there's like another thing, it's rotating. Did you talk to moving target? No, I took it on a track. Oh, okay. Oh my gosh, dude. Wow. Look at it fly.
Pretty crazy. When videos like these surface, I always take my cues from the people involved, most notably their voice and tone. I think you can tell how genuine or scared or surprised a person is from listening to their voice in the moment. In this video, you can hear how the pilots are feeling upon seeing the object. Another creepy part, did you hear when he said there's a whole fleet of them? Yikes. Let me know what you think about these clips and in aliens in general. This eerie video captured by a trail camera deep within the Appalachian Mountains appears to show something resembling a werewolf. The creature's face bears a striking, unsettling similarity to both a dog and a human. Its dog-like features coupled with its humanoid appearance make for a terrifying and perplexing sight. The footage is enough to send chills down anyone's spine, earning it the nickname Monster of the Mountains from some viewers. Many are left wondering whether this could be evidence of a creature of legend or if there's a more ordinary explanation. Some have speculated it might be a diseased animal, distorted and made grotesque by its ailment. However, the certainty of its identity remains elusive, adding to the mystery. No matter what it may truly be, the prospect of a middle-of-the-night encounter with such a being in the wilderness would undoubtedly fill anyone with dread. This video serves as a stark reminder of the mysteries that still inhabit the remote corners of our world, sparking curiosity, apprehension, and intrigue in equal measures. A Predator combat drone is executing its standard surveillance, when abruptly, an enormous and swift object invades its territory. What seems to be an unidentified flying object zips past the drone, leaving a massive trail of bright white light in its wake. The drone spins around to scan the region, but whatever rocketed past has since vanished without a trace. Regrettably, no additional footage was obtained. The scarcity of information connected to this video leaves me uncertain whether it's fabricated or if the military is simply remaining tight-lipped. It's possible that the unidentified flying object is a product of CGI, but discounting that theory, what you're viewing could potentially be our inaugural interaction with highly technologically advanced extraterrestrials. If this were indeed an extraterrestrial encounter, it would certainly change our understanding of the universe and our place in it. We would have to consider the potential implications of contact with a civilization far more technologically advanced than our own. The nature of the object and its swift glowing passage remain a mystery, enticing us to delve deeper into the uncharted territories of our universe. This trail camera snagged a rare sight, a spirit moose sauntering nonchalantly in the forest. Spirit moose, also known as white or albino moose, are not albinos but rather a variant with white fur, a result of a rare genetic mutation called lurksism. This condition, unlike albinism, does not affect the animal's eye color, which is why many spirit moose have normal colored eyes. They're extremely rare, spotted sporadically across North America and Scandinavia, particularly in Sweden. Due to their unique appearance, they've garnered spiritual significance among indigenous cultures, with some considering it a bad omen to harm one. This magnificent creature, seemingly without a worry, casually strolls through the woods, a testament to its rarity and beauty. Thanks to the trail camera, we've captured this exceptional moment, providing a rare glimpse into the life of these unique animals. The video begins with two guys documenting a mountain lion that has stalked them from behind during what was initially supposed to be a quick bow hunting trip. The mountain lion is tough to spot as it blends remarkably well with the landscape while maintaining an impressive level of stealth. They persist in filming the beast while simultaneously maintaining eye contact to prevent activating its ambush instincts for unguarded prey.
You're being hunted.
The entire incident is filled with intense tension and suspense due to the unpredictable behavior of the wild creature and its superior physical abilities. Fortunately, the footage concludes with the mountain lion vanishing into the thick, towering undergrowth. Let me know in the comments if you all are staying this calm. This video kicks off with a team of hunters, accompanied by their dogs, set on a mission to track down a wild boar hidden deep within a thick forest in Scandinavia. Just moments after dispatching their dogs to sniff out the hog, a frenzied barking erupts from the hounds, indicating they've located the beast. One of the men has a brief window of opportunity to take a shot. However, the ensuing events are far from what they had expected. Miraculously, despite the unexpected turn of events, no one incurs any severe injuries, and the hunting expedition ends successfully. Our upcoming clip features a man filming a gigantic boar bursting from the woodland and making a beeline towards him in his vehicle. Despite the hefty build of a wild boar, these creatures can demonstrate remarkable swiftness, clocking in at around 25 miles per hour. Subsequent scenes reveal the man's hunting dog also emerging from the woods and courageously embarking on the pursuit of the boar. Moments later, however, both the hound and the boar regrettably vanish back into the forested area, marking the end of the recording. This outdoor camera caught a small altercation between a cat and a raccoon. Cats, like many animals, have territorial instincts. This is particularly true for outdoor cats who've claimed an area, such as a yard, as their own. They will often engage in behaviors to mark their territory, like urine spraying or scratching, to deter other animals from encroaching on their space. When a raccoon or any other animal invades this marked territory, a cat may become defensive and protective, viewing the intruder as a threat to their space, resources, and safety. Raccoons, on the other hand, are generally nomadic creatures. While they do have home ranges that they frequent, their territories are not as rigidly defined or protected as those of a cat. Additionally, raccoons are opportunistic foragers, meaning they're likely to invade yards not for territorial gain, but in search of food or potential nesting sites. So if a cat and a raccoon cross paths in a yard, there's potential for conflict. The cat may perceive the raccoon as a threat to its claimed territory and may attempt to defend this territory aggressively, while the raccoon, primarily focused on foraging, may retaliate if it feels threatened. Well, it was easy to tell who had the upper hand in this altercation. This intriguing clip, posted on June 24th, 2023, reveals a seldom seen event: a skirmish between two foxes for social supremacy. This rarely observed occurrence, due to the distinctive behaviors of these animals, was unexpectedly captured by a trail camera. The encounter began peacefully, but popped off when one fox leaped from a rock, triggering a power struggle. Though it only lasted a few minutes, the video ends without revealing the outcome, leaving the winner and loser a mystery, but nonetheless very cool to see. The YouTube video Fight Club, posted in May 2023, takes viewers into a forest where a flock of turkeys unexpectedly erupt into a brawl. Initially, the turkeys seem peaceful, wandering and foraging, but the calm quickly descends into chaos, offering a glimpse of the unpredictable nature of wildlife. In an unexpected turn of events, the scene of tranquility transforms into a feathery frenzy. The air, once filled with the peaceful sounds of the forest, now resonates with the ruffled squawks and fluttering of wings. Each turkey becomes an adversary, lunging and pecking at its fellows. The cause of the fight remains unknown, adding an extra layer of intrigue to this already compelling spectacle. Could it be a struggle for dominance, a sudden scare, or just a sporadic display of aggression? The mystery fuels speculation, making the video all the more captivating for its viewers. Also, the event marked a memorable moment for the video's owner, who regards it as one of the most exciting scenes their trail camera has ever captured. This unexpected wildlife drama not only provided an intimate view into the rarely seen behavior of turkeys, but also served as a stark reminder of the astonishing surprises that the natural world can offer. This is just a really cute video of a cat frustratingly trying to catch a fish in a backyard pond that is frozen over. The cat is definitely confused on why he can't grab this fish. This trail camera footage is pretty wild, isn't it? Notice how the creature seems to lock eyes with the camera, its gaze strangely human-like. It's as if it was aware of being observed and wanted to acknowledge its watcher. But let's speculate for a moment. Is this a gorilla we're seeing? Or could we be facing a cryptid, perhaps a Bigfoot? When you scrutinize the image more closely, you might see that it's moving bipedally unlike a gorilla, which would typically use its knuckles for movement. I don't know about you, but if that was my trail camera capturing these images, I'd either keep a close eye on my surroundings or avoid that area of the woods entirely.
A couple in Russia were driving through a wooded area late at night, completely unprepared for what was about to happen. As they made their way down the road, a tree suddenly crashed to the ground right in front of them, forcing them to drive through it. Thankfully, there was no serious damage, and no one was injured, but the driver was understandably shaken by the sudden event. While it seems like this was merely a random branch falling, some viewers have suggested something more mysterious. A few people commented that it could have been a Sasquatch or a Yeti that threw the tree. They pointed out that even though the road was dark, it didn't seem to be lined with trees. I'm not sure what to make of it. Personally, I think the tree just fell, as the way it came straight down doesn't look like it was thrown by someone or something. Nevertheless, it's an incident that was undoubtedly terrifying for those involved, and it leaves room for speculation and imagination.
It was Verdi, he was a composer.
Have you had a chance to check out this unsettling footage? It's a clip from a travel show presented by James May, and what the cameras have captured is truly intriguing.
What is that?
Because these woods are very much like the ones near where I live in South Wiltshire. It's got the same gradient, it's got the same...
At first, some viewers dismissed it as a mere editing error or a glitch in the video. However, many others believe that this could actually be a real ghost caught on film.
It was Verdi, what is that?
To my eyes, it appears to resemble an old soldier, possibly wearing a traditional long cloak. But I'll leave it up to you to decide. What do you think it could be? Let me know in the comments along with whether or not you believe in ghosts.
What is that?
The footage of the so-called Fresno, California nightcrawler might be among the oddest videos supposedly depicting an alien being that you'll ever encounter. At first glance, you might find the footage laughable. The appearance of these alleged creatures in the video can make anyone skeptical. In fact, when I first watched it, I remember thinking, it looks like a pair of pants running off. But for those who specialize in debunking videos, this one proved more challenging to dismiss than anticipated. A sci-fi TV series called Factor or Faith made attempts to debunk the Fresno Nightcrawler footage. However, no matter what methods they employed, they were unable to replicate the creatures captured in the video. Ultimately, they labeled the footage as inexplicable. A year after the episode aired, another similar video surfaced. This time, the supposed alien was captured in Yosemite National Park, a location 60 miles away from the original sighting. Moreover, images began to emerge online, displaying peculiar wood carvings. People claim that these carvings were ancient American Indian statues representing the creatures, but these reports remain unverified. So, are these bizarre beings genuine extraterrestrial creatures? Or is it merely a clever hoax using pants as a puppet? I'd be interested in hearing your thoughts on this curious matter. On Dread Captures, we have covered a number of clips highlighting animals in their natural surroundings. We've heard bobcats and mountain lions mating calls. We've featured deer and elk during their rutting season. The sounds these creatures make are incredibly varied, serving not just as mating calls, but also as warnings of potential danger. Now here's a clip that's rather intriguing. A police officer in Texas stopped at a rest area and managed to record an extraordinary sound coming from the woods nearby. Just listen to it.
Starting to regret that I stopped at this rest stop. And they say Bigfoot isn't real?
The volume of this bellow is striking. It's not just loud, but has an almost otherworldly quality to it. Could this be the call of an exceptionally large stag or elk? Or is there something more mysterious at play here? The police officer who recorded this sound has a tempting suggestion. Could this be the cry of Bigfoot? As much as some insist that Bigfoot is nothing but a myth, this sound certainly makes you wonder. It's a question that lingers and invites speculation. What do you think it could be? In this video, opinions are starkly divided between those who believe what they see and the skeptics. A scene unfolds where a teenager is filming a school project when something weird occurs. The camera seems to catch a glimpse of something or someone staring at him through the window. You'll need to watch closely as it's a brief moment. At one point, the family dog leaps up to fetch a tennis ball, inadvertently pushing the blinds aside. That's when you can faintly recognize half of a face peering through the window. Can you see it? Something is unmistakably peering in at them. Some viewers believe this could be an alien or even Bigfoot. The debate rages on as the face seems to be more than just a reflection. It clearly resembles a face, possibly some sort of humanoid or unknown creature. Some have suggested it might be a hoax, with a fake dummy or statue placed outside the window. But as others have noted, the dog doesn't seem alarmed by the face. Maybe it's just too engrossed in chasing the ball to notice anything else. What adds to the authenticity is the difficulty in staging this. To fake the video, the dog would have to be trained to jump on the couch at precisely the right moment, something that seems unlikely. There's no evidence of any commands given to the dog either. All in all, the video feels genuine and natural. It's a piece that certainly sparks debate and captures the imagination. Whether real or a clever fabrication, and whether it depicts an alien, Bigfoot, or something else entirely, it leaves us with a lingering sense of curiosity and wonder. Leave me a comment and let yours be the one that unravels the mystery. In a chilling piece of security camera footage, something quite unsettling has been captured. Taken in the still, dark night, with no other source of illumination but the camera's IR light, this video has ignited quite a conversation. Let's take a look. What was caught on camera is deeply disturbing and seemingly inexplicable. Some initially thought it might be a flash, perhaps even a vampire, given the eerie trail it left behind. The dark figure that suddenly zoomed into the frame appeared supernatural, and the person whose trail camera caught the image was convinced he was dealing with something far from ordinary. Others, however, were more skeptical, speculating that it could be a shadow of an animal, like a bird or a swooping bat. As much as we want to settle for that mundane explanation, the ghostly appearance and otherworldly speed of the movement leave us questioning any straightforward answers. A well-known cryptid hunter has weighed in on the footage and is almost positive that this is evidence of the elusive Mothman. For those unfamiliar, the Mothman is a legendary creature reportedly seen in the Point Pleasant area of West Virginia, described as a man-sized entity with glowing red eyes and wings like a moth. It has been associated with ominous events and disasters. The sightings and lore around the Mothman have created a significant mystique, making it a popular subject in cryptozoology and paranormal studies. So, what's your take on this footage? Could it be a mere shadow or something more supernatural like the Mothman? The enigmatic nature of the video and the varying opinions make it all the more intriguing. Feel free to share your thoughts. In February 2021, a Brazilian news broadcast was conducting an interview live on air when they inadvertently captured something truly mysterious on film.
Muitas pessoas aí estão me procurando, né? Devido à imagem que parece uma nave espacial.
The mysterious unknown object flies by in the background.
Então, acho que sem querer a gente pegou alguma coisa que a gente não sabe ainda o que é, não é isso, Celinho?
When the show went on, thousands of Brazilian locals noticed the strange object again, writing into the station. Before long, the mysterious sighting made worldwide headlines with news outlets speculating on what it might be. Let me know what you think this is in the comments. A man found himself stranded in the remote Russian wilderness after his truck gave out on him. Facing freezing temperatures, he ventured into the unfamiliar landscape, seeking help. It wasn't long before an unsettling feeling overcame him, and he began to believe that something or someone might be trailing him. What do you make of this mysterious circumstance? Share your thoughts and theories with me. A man was taking a leisurely hike in the mountains, appreciating the serene beauty of the nearby lake and the majestic mountain trails. It was the kind of tranquil day that anyone would find calming. However, this peaceful day took a startling turn when he detected a noise behind him. Fortunately, his keen eye spotted a mountain lion stealthily tracking him, most definitely seeing him as potential prey. Realizing that he was being pursued by the mountain lion, fear gripped him and he began to run for his life.
Oh shit! Hey! Rah! Rah!
In a desperate attempt to fend off the predator, the man let out a loud roar, pulling out all the stops in hopes to get the lion to stop. Astonishingly, this raw human roar managed to halt the big cat in its tracks. It was indeed a fortunate escape on what could have been a very unlucky day. In the following footage, we introduce you to an inquisitive bear. This particular bear has made an appearance on this trail camera more than once, leaving us wondering what exactly it was doing there. One thing is clear though, the bear wasn't a fan of being watched. Deciding to take action, it used its powerful paws to attack the camera, biting and tearing at it until it was completely demolished. The bear's aggressive dismantling left no trace of its presence, and as the video abruptly ends, it becomes apparent that the camera was torn to shreds by this fierce creature. This leaves us without any further footage of the animal, leading us to believe that perhaps, like us, bears also appreciate their privacy. Jacob Gardner, while exploring last week, couldn't shake the feeling that he was being watched.
Something was like in the trees, kind of like going from tree to tree, so I figured like maybe it was a bigger bird or something.
Working near hiking trails in La Crucenta, Jacob decided to take a video on his phone during his afternoon break. The spot was not far from the highway and a nearby YMCA. However, it was only later that he realized what he had recorded.
It totally hit me that like that's must have been what I heard and what was making me feel a little bit uneasy at the time.
We've slowed down the video for a closer look, and you can see something swinging high among the trees. A local CBS news station presented the video to a fish and wildlife expert for review.
It looks like an ape, and it definitely could possibly be an ape.
Here's what he had to say. Despite being close to a freeway, the area is not completely devoid of wildlife. Sightings of deer and smaller animals are common, but an ape? There have been no previous reports of an ape being spotted in the area. Some comments left on the video say that it is definitely an ape. Others think it's a baby Sasquatch, while some naysayers believe it to be simply an odd angle of tree branches blowing in the wind. What say you guys?
Well, is it a legend, a folk legend, or has a local farmer actually found proof of the mysterious chupacabra, an elusive animal said to feed off the blood of livestock? Well, that question has residents in Nelson County buzzing after a farmer captures the unusual animal. So far, it can't be explained. WLKY's Ann Bowden went to Nelson County and to see the farm and see the animal herself. She joins us now with more. And before you get going, was it as unusual as residents are saying it is?
Rick, I really cannot explain it. It is hard to explain it. Unless you see it in person, pictures really don't do it justice. It is just freakishly weird, and you don't know how to explain it, whether it's a chupacabra or not.
The discovery occurred when the farmer, Mark Catherine, noticed something strange in his field.
I saw something move down in this little field below the house here, and it just looked unusual.
The creature came closer to Mark's farmhouse, prompting him to take a better look through his binoculars. His wife joined him, but the more they observed, the stranger it appeared.
Strange, so I'm going to get my rifle and shoot it and get a close look, you know. And I'm glad I did, because it's, you know, I don't know what it is. It's been anything from a big rat to the legendary chupacabra.
Many times these chupacabra sightings end up being a dog or coyote with mange, and that makes sense. However, some time back, a lady in Texas killed one and had its DNA tested, and it came back as an unknown species. Really makes you wonder what we're dealing with here. Here's a delightful clip that showcases two charming baby fawns sprawled on a gravel road. These innocent creatures seem to believe they're hiding from the human filming them, who they likely view as a threat. Yet, their attempt at concealment is amusingly ineffective, as they're quite noticeable. Nevertheless, it's an incredibly cute and amusing moment to witness. These fawns are seen bedding down, lying as low and motionless as possible. Whether it's an innate behavior or something learned from their mother, their intention is to remain undetected. If you've ever been in the woods and had a deer suddenly leap up beside you, you know how startling it can be. But it's also remarkable how close these creatures can let you approach before they decide to move. This leads to a couple of intriguing questions. If you were to come across these two baby fawns on the road, what would your reaction be? And what's your theory on how they found themselves in this unusual situation to begin with? In the scenic woods of Oregon, a group of musician friends were enjoying a jam session when an unexpected incident took place. In the midst of their playing, a small creature suddenly launched an attack, striking one of the friends, Derek, on his shoulder. The instruments fell silent as everyone stared in shock at the tiny assailant. It was a bat, and it had hit Derek with a soft thump, then proceeded to climb up his body. The group watched, horrified, as Derek felt the cold snout of the bat and its tiny but sharp teeth sink into his neck, perilously close to his jugular vein. In a desperate move, Derek managed to throw the bat off, only to see it fly into a nearby tree, where it continued to watch them, eerily silent. Though shaken, the friends tried to dismiss the incident as a one-time freak event and resume playing. But the bat was not done. It made two more aggressive swipes at Derek. That was enough for one of his friends, who took a BB gun and shot the bat. The friends collected the dead bat and took it to the local health department for testing. The results confirmed their worst fears. Derek had been bitten by a rabid bat. The following days were filled with anxiety and discomfort as he underwent a series of rabies shots. This chilling encounter serves as a cautionary tale and a reminder that even a casual outing can turn into something far more serious. It's an experience the group is unlikely to forget, and it leaves us with a lingering sense of unease about what can lurk in seemingly peaceful surroundings. With the rise of artificial intelligence, it's getting harder to tell what's real and what's fake. Consider this image, for example. It looks genuine and might very well be. Here's the story. A hunter put a hidden camera in a tree and left it there for weeks or even months. When he checked the footage, he found something truly unsettling. An unknown hairy creature on all fours. What do you make of it? To me, it might be a young Sasquatch. It's on all fours and covered in hair, like you'd expect from a Sasquatch. But its legs and lower half seem slimmer than others I've seen. Without more footage or different angles, though, we can't be certain. What do you think? Could this be a juvenile Sasquatch or something else entirely? I'd love to hear your thoughts, so please share them in the comments. A man recently submitted a video to a channel claiming that his trail camera caught a skinwalker transforming back into its human form. Let's take a closer look. In the footage, we can see a forested area with what appears to be a human figure, specifically a man, covered in mud and centered in the frame. He seems to be moving from left to right. The scene is puzzling. It's not something you'd typically expect to find. After all, who would be wandering around this area naked, coated in mud, unless they were in the process of shifting from a wild creature back into human form? Now, I know that sounds bizarre, but we've witnessed plenty of unexplainable things in our world, so I can't entirely dismiss the possibility. We're inclined to think that the person who submitted the image may be onto something and could very well be telling the truth. Unfortunately, we don't have information about where the image was captured. So, what's your take on this? Could we be looking at a real-life skinwalker in the midst of transformation? Or perhaps it's just a human caught in an unusual situation in the woods. There's always the chance that it's an elaborate hoax, too. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this mysterious occurrence. Caught on dashcam in the midst of a blizzard in Buffalo, New York. Is a sighting that will stop you in your tracks. As you direct your attention to the right side of the screen, an unusually tall and slender figure emerges from the snow's cover. Some believe this to be the Slender Man, a mythical entity characterized by its towering height, featureless face, and elongated arms, often associated with the stalking, disappearance, and general terror of its victims. The authenticity of this capture remains a hot debate. Personally, the extended reach of the creature's arms and its lack of effort to conceal itself raise my suspicions. However, the intrigue surrounding the sighting is undeniable. So I want to hear from you. What's your take on this eerie encounter? Is it a genuine glimpse of the legendary Slender Man, or just a clever fabrication, real or fake? Share your thoughts in the comments below.